Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Faith Is It. I am literally so excited to make this podcast. Like, it's something I've been looking forward to. You know, when I'm like, let me get all the hard work done, so I can come and have fun making this podcast. And I am here today just for you guys. And I pray and I know that this podcast is going to be a great blessing to you. So, as you know, International Women's Day is coming up on the 8th of March 2019. I am so excited each time it's International Women's Day because, my birthday was actually yesterday, guys, the 5th of March. I'm not ashamed to say I turned 21, although people say, I behave like I'm older than my age. That one is story for another day. But I am going to talk about a woman that means so much to me. And it's not other person than my mother, Rabbi Abiri. I love that woman so much. So yes, I love my mom. She's very dear and close to my heart. Although may not agree on so many things, but I love her so much. So my mom is in her 50s. She's just a very lovely lady, she has a very beautiful skin. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't I have her melanin popping skin? Because my mom is quite dark skin. My dad is the light one. But anyway, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. My mom is beautiful. She's a very, very determined woman. She owns a fish farming enterprise back in Nigeria. She's a very committed businesswoman. She knows her stuff. She's very hardworking, very dedicated. If my mom wants to get something, she will go and get that thing. There's no stopping that woman. She has 5 children. I'm the last born of the 5 children my mom has, although I have 10 siblings, but my mom has 5 children, so I'm the last born, and she has 4 girls and 1 boy, and yes, I am the youngest of 5, and yeah, that is just in a nutshell. Before I go deep into the story, she's an amazing cook. She loves to cook, she loves to host people. She's generally very motherly. She treats the people that work for us, the drivers, the gate men, people that work in the farm, she treats them like her own children. She would cook, literally include them in the food. She's just a very, very lovely and amazing woman. But that said, let's go right into what we have for today. So this podcast is really, really about my mom, her struggles as a woman and how she overcame them. My mom is not a Christian yet, but I know that time will come. But I just absolutely love her. So my mom started, she has always been like a very, intelligent person, committed in school. She just loved education, and she actually went to a school that I think the principal was a sister, like a reverend sister. She came from abroad anyway, but she was white, but I'm not sure she was British or from America basically. But she was white, and she was always encouraging the girls to go to school and be educated. And my mom really loved school because she wanted to be something in the future, and again, very, very determined of a person. And I remember, based on what she told me, basically when she was about 15, I think, or even younger, her parents, wanted to marry her off to an older man. And my mom was like, okay, this is not working. I want to finish school. This is what I want to do in my life. But of course, they were not hearing it. And I don't mean to sound critical, but naturally or usually, the Islamic religion is one that kind of, I feel like it just really doesn't give women a lot of times a choice. Maybe now things have changed, but in that time, your father says this, coupled with the African culture, to be honest, let me not just blame it on religion, coupled with the African culture that your parents can tell you what to do if they say you're marrying so you have no choice. So my mom, was under that pressure of early marriage as a 15-year-old, or I think 16 or even 14. But my mom was someone that is very, very resilient, or is someone that is very, very resilient. And somehow I believe that I got that character from her, because if I want to do something, sometimes I tend to be stubborn, but God is working on that. If I want to do something, there's no stopping me. And that's how my mom is. Basically, she ran away. When it got very tough, she ran away. She ran to meet the reverend sister, and that one, really helped her. And I remember my grandpa went to the school and the uncle, and they were like, they just want to see how she's doing, blah, blah, blah. But all those were lies anyway, because they just wanted to manipulate her into the house of this older man. I don't know if it was because of money. I'm guessing it's because the man had money and whatever. This man was old enough to be her father. Imagine if that had happened. That means maybe I won't be here. There won't be any deceived woman, any Zulaikha. Well, thank God. And because of what my mom did, they even drove my grandma out of the house. You see what kind of things women face, like in cultures where the male is very, very dominant. So they drove her out of the house, want to find your daughter, that kind of thing. But my mom mind was fixed, and thank God for that reverend sister. Thank God for that woman. She was like, okay, fine, you want to see your daughter, I'll take one of my staffs to accompany you, and then that one will bring her back. And then basically they lost the battle, and they couldn't really marry her off to that guy. So she persisted and kept on going to school. And then my dad came into the picture. They got married. Yes, they got married. My dad was a lawyer. I remember then when my mom had me, my mom actually went back to do secondary school. I think she did the latter part of secondary school, maybe senior secondary school 2 or 3 or something like that, or she started from senior secondary school 1, so she can do like, we call it WAEC. WAEC is basically like A-levels exam. And then she went to uni. I remember my mom was going to uni when I was in primary school. I remember very, very clearly. I remember she did like a law-related course, and my dad, being like a judge at that time, would coach her, would teach her things. And my mom she didn't mind. My mom was actually going to the same school with my sisters, the same school. She was going to the adult section, but she wasn't wearing uniform, but they were in the same school. And my mom was not ashamed one bit, because she had an end goal. I want to finish school. I want to become educated. And I feel like also because of how my dad was soaring in his career, she didn't just want to be a stay-at-home wife, or, she wanted to be able to contribute in conversations. And my dad also really encouraged her. My dad is someone that believes people should go to school, women should go to school, and he's just exceptional, an exceptional father, and he encouraged my mom all through the process. And after a while, my mom was like, okay, I want to go into business. And mind you, when my mom was younger, she used to hawk what we call bonga fish. Bonga fish is a Nigerian fish. It's basically dried fish, in very simple terms. So my mom would hawk bonga fish. And ironically, when she wanted to go into business, the business she wanted to do was fish farming. This is how it all plays out. That's my mom's story. She started her fish farm, and it became really, really like successful. She began, distributing, or people came from all over to buy from her. They still do, they come to buy fish from her. And my mom is just someone, she's so hardworking. You could see her on the farm. She doesn't send anybody. That means she doesn't really care. She just does all the hard, dirty work. Things that are going to be wrong. Oh my gosh, I don't want to touch fish. It's like me. She just gets in there, does the work that has to be done. She's one of the people she's like the primary person that makes me wake up early in the morning, because I've just been raised that way. Wake up early, get your stuff together, do whatever you need to do, don't lazy around. So my mom is just an exceptional woman. And what I can really gather from her scripturally, though she's not a Christian, is that the Bible says, how Paul was saying, this one thing I do, forgetting the things that lie behind and press onto the things that are in the future. My mom never let her past stop her. She never let mistakes or her hurts, pressure stop her. She kept on moving for what she wanted to do. And the Bible says, see that your man's diligence in his business. That's Proverbs 22 verse 29. He shall stand before kings and not men. And I'd like to encourage a woman out there. Your story is your story. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change what happens in the future. You can definitely change how your life turns out. My Bishop David Oyedepo said something. You are absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. And I totally believe in that thing, because no matter what people have done to you, no matter what you've gone through, I've had my own fair share of experiences, but I won't say, okay, because of what this person did to me, they have to come and fix my life. No, only God can fix your life, but you need to be responsible. And I saw that, and my mom took responsibility. She never let that stop her. That's just it in a nutshell. But what I want you to reply to this podcast. Whose story inspires you most as a woman? It could even be your own story. What have you gone through that can be a blessing to the world? Maybe, I might do my own story, go more in detail as to what I've been through as a woman, things that I feel like I went through them because of my gender, or things that are very like gender specific that I went through. So yes, please share your story, and don't forget to subscribe to this podcast channel, share, comment, and just spread the word. I remain Zulaikha, and this is Faith Is It.
It's the name above all names. It's the name, it's the name.